This is Jeff with Eternity Shore. The last time I was at the marina, there was plenty of ice to be had. That was several weeks ago. And now I'm back. It is late February. It's about 40 degrees out, so I've got several layers on. And it has been a couple weeks since I've been on the boat. So we're expecting some snow tonight and tomorrow morning. Maybe 2 to 5 inches, somewhere around there. And since I hadn't been up here, I wanted to just go check on the shrink wrap and make sure everything's fine there, and also give kind of an update as to what the next steps are to get the boat ready for a spring launch. So everything is still fine with the shrink wrap. It's hanging in there, which is all I really needed to do. So while I was here today, I did 2 things which I did not film because I was a little bit lazy. But if you recall, I had taken the impellers out. I had checked the impellers on both the engines. So I replaced the port side impeller, and I actually put the housing back on. And then I put the housing back on the starboard side as well. I greased both of the splines, the shaft of the impeller, and got the new impellers in there all ready to go, with the hopes that these 2 engines will be, manifolds and risers will be worked on. The other thing I did today was I took off all the battery terminals and wire brushed them, and then I put dielectric grease on. Get them all ready for the season. They're not charged at all, so they'll need to be charged, but I thought I'd clean them all up first. The wind is starting to pick up because the snow is on its way, I don't know, 5-6 hours from now. That noise is driving me insane. Sorry about it. Oh. So I put the impellers in, put the housing back on, cleaned up the batteries, and you may have noticed I also took off the hatch to the engine room so that if they were working on these engines, they would have more room to do so. It is nice and sunny out right now, which is fun. As I'm sitting on the dock, this is a floating dock, so I can feel the dock going up and down. Kind of feels like I'm on a boat right now. That feels really nice, actually. Mary and I were gone for a couple weeks. We actually went on about a week-long cruise, and one of the places we went to was Curacao. We went to what are known as the ABC Islands. That's Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, which this hat is from right here. And I'll show you a couple of those pictures. One fun thing is we rented ATVs with our friends on the island of Aruba, if you've ever been to Aruba. And I'm trying to get out of the wind a little bit. So we rented those ATVs, and here's a shot of Mary driving that ATV. Actually, what I'm showing you is not nearly as rocky as some of the other places were. About half the island is really, really rocky, so I had never seen that before. Those of you that have been down there know what it's like. There we go. So we had a great trip with friends of ours, so now we're back working again and dreaming about boating. Maybe as I walk down the dock, I can talk a little bit more about next steps. I need to check in on one of the marine services that is going to do 2 major projects for us, hopefully. We want to be in the queue for them. One is we would like the manifolds and the risers replaced in both engines, and have somebody to do that. I would love it if they would tell me when they're coming. I may have to remove the shrink wrap before they do it, because it is a giant pain in the butt to get in there, since, you know, we reverse the shrink wrap and the door's on the wrong side, and that might be hard with someone with tools and all that kind of stuff. So I may have to take the shrink wrap off earlier than I would want to. but that's okay. We reuse the shrink wrap anyway. I think one of you guys made the comment to me about doing the manifolds and risers that while they're off, to have them replace the spark plugs. Great comment. Thank you much for that. I'm definitely going to have them do that. The second job we're having them do is to pull the outdrive, and that would be the starboard side outdrive, because we know we have a torn bellows there, but we want them to do kind of service that, including the gimbal bearing, having that gimbal bearing replaced. I do want to find out to make sure I know which parts they're going to use for that. So that's a conversation that we'll need to have with them moving forward. But it is nice out, so let's keep walking, keep it going. What else to share? You've already seen a couple videos where I have prepped the outdrives, sanded them and scraped them and sanded them, and then eventually put the primer on, the gray primer. I've not painted those yet. I'm gonna wait till the spring, basically, before we put the boat in the water, to do the last step, which is to paint them white, because they're fine for now. So I'm gonna wait for a while until we have to do that. I bought a new VHF radio, which I've installed, and well, I didn't install it. I got it all ready to be hooked up and checked that they would get power and that it would run. But I've not been successful to connecting the antenna to that, to the radio. So I just have part one of that. I have part two queued up, but part two does not actually complete with it being fixed yet, because it's not fixed yet, because I have not been able to attach the darn thing. So I might wait till part two. I can turn it into just one part two and not part three. So I'm waiting to actually make sure that gets done. You can see behind me that lonely line is looking for a boat to attach itself to. I don't know, could we be 6 weeks away? Could we be 7 weeks away, 5 weeks away? Most of this is not gonna have to do with the marina, because they'll be able to get us in early if we want to. It has to do with getting the work done on the engines. We definitely want to have the engines done this year, manifolds and risers, 100%. Give us more confidence when we go on whatever trips we're planning on going on. Mary and I are in discussions right now in terms of where that might be. Could be Cambridge, Maryland, Solomon Island, although we really want to get back up north. We really enjoyed our trip to Chesapeake City. We enjoyed our trip to Havre de Grace, and there are other destinations up north that we could pursue if we want to. If any of you actually have a launch date, well, I'd love to see that. If you know what your launch date is, put it down in your comments. Love to know what your launch date is. That make me happy that there's somebody has a launch date out there. So, this is Jeff with Eternity Shore, opining to get this boat back in the water so we can go on adventures once again and not sit around at the marina and dream. Hope you're having a great day. Ciao. Yep, see you later, baby.